The paper is pressed and the handmade books are complete. So now what? It's time to make marks. Many people stop here in the journey, but why? Welcome to the home of videos for dailycreatives.com. Let's get back to creating and making just for the fun of it. Connecting to nature, we can achieve a balance, a sense of mindfulness and calm. Join me to discover and create a life you don't need a vacation from. Recording our thoughts, hopes, and dreams is a process as old as time. Being able to handwrite is a skill we all learned in primary school. So why the angst about taking this last and most important step in the process of creating a journal? Turns out that the basic skill of cursive writing is becoming far less popular, thanks to the advancement of the personal computer. But this change is recent in the history of penmanship. Before there was writing, there was only verbal communication, with cultural norms, rituals, and stories passed on orally from one generation to the next. As languages and cultures evolved, so did the need for communication. Simple drawings became pictographs, and pictographs became standardized within each culture, beginning the history of handwriting. Writing is just a standardized system of codified symbols, the repetition of agreed-upon shapes that represent ideas. Simple pictographs were used to represent people, places, and things. As the need for communication expanded, different pictographs were combined to represent ideas and required knowledge to interpret the new symbols. These became ideographs, abstract symbols that evolved beyond the original drawings. Over time, as cultures changed, the recorded form of communication evolved. The Egyptians started using papyrus and reed brushes for writing. Ink flowed more smoothly on papyrus and allowed scribes to write more quickly, which made symbols less angular and more rounded in appearance. The ancient Phoenician alphabet developed, comprised of 22 phonetically based symbols. Once spread around the ancient world, it was widely used. The Roman Empire rose to power and eventually conquered Greece. The Romans adopted many aspects of Greek culture, including the alphabet. This now 23-letter alphabet spread across Europe as far as England and also into northern Africa and the Persian Gulf. Inscriptions in capital letters were carved on structures all over the empire. In the early Common Era, the ruler Charlemagne controlled most of Europe, and he employed an English monk to standardize the lettering practices that were used across the texts. The resulting style developed into Romanesque hand and later into the Gothic style in Germany. Lettering styles continued to develop. There was a common script style used for practical purposes, and a more precise artistic hand lettering was used for more important texts and books, with great care taken for each letter. When Gutenberg created his movable type press, he modeled his letters upon the style of the scribes at the time. Development of copperplate engraving allowed for the use of very delicate typefaces, with many flourishes and curlicues in the script-like letters, which greatly influenced handwriting. Handwriting masters began to grow in number to produce beautifully written documents. Elegant handwriting became a sign of social status. By the mid-1700s, there were special schools established to teach handwriting techniques or penmanship. Master penmen were employed to copy official documents such as land deeds, birth and marriage certificates, military commissions, and other legal documents. Eventually, people were inseparable from paper and pencil. This clerical couple was a big part of everyday life, from keeping a budget and arranging business correspondence to taking notes and saving cooking recipes, along with congratulating loved ones on holidays and in many other aspects of daily life. Today, many of us use electronics for the majority of our communication needs. Budgets are managed in numeric computer programs, letters and memos are typed directly into email and sent instantly. All manner of data can be captured and saved from the internet. The art of creating a thoughtful congratulation is relegated to social media postings. While there is much interest in working with paper, it seems to be more of an artistic expression nowadays. This might explain the hesitation to mark up pages of a handmade journal with text. After all, the letters will not be perfect. I do not have that worry. My penmanship is decent when I'm slow and deliberate, but the value I get from writing by hand is not decorative. I think there is an expression and transfer of ideas from my head to the paper that is only effective by hand. My worries do not linger after I write them down in my morning pages. Inspiration is made real once captured in one of my journals. Heartfelt messages emerge in a thank you card. Handwritten love letters exchanged between my husband and I over the years are a treasured part of our well-lived time together. A mind map, which I use to organize my thoughts before working on a strategy, can only be done by hand and preferably on a very large piece of paper. All the journals I have kept up to now are very basic. The only thing that makes them special to me is the handwriting. Head over to dailycreatives.com. Over there you will find the whole week we've been looking at handwriting, penmanship, and all things to do with making marks on all this handmade paper in all these handmade journals. See you over there.